Thank you, sis, for blessing my life.
You bless my life being in it.
Oh, sis.
Okay, you see us up
Live
on Facebook Live?
on my
You
desktop.
see us?
Go to Facebook.
Yep, we are. You look great.
Oh,
Camera
thank you.
picking you up nice. Maybe it's just me, and everything that's going on, but I want to say to you, little sis, got my little sis on here. We doing a hometown thing, okay? All in the family. Shabazz
Mhm.
High School, dear to my heart. We're gonna get in a great conversation, and we just allow a couple of people to come on live. I think God is pleased because my back door just came open for no
Oh,
particular reason at all. So God is pleased that I have you here on the show. I think that it's going to be an excellent show. I'm going to actually do something a little different. I'm going to break out my little share screen and show a video of you. I think that is going to be fantastic. So, I was just waiting for a couple of people to actually get on. You can hit a watch party if you want to on your end on Facebook.
I'm
Okay,
looking.
and while
My
yeah, when you
Facebook.
see it, it'll be on your feed, and once you see it on your feed, then you can do that. So, and you can even do a watch party later on, but trying to pull in as many people as we can. So, because like I said, this is really going to be a good show. Um, I'm real excited that you're on. So, while I got you here, it's Sunday brunch. So we're going to toast it up for the rest of 2020. All of the great and positive things that are going to happen in that. And in 2021, it's going to carry over infinity. I love you, young sis. Love you.
I love your life, sis. Thank you.
Loose. Salute. All right. To all of my people out there, it's the 26th episode today. All right. And today I got my young sis on here, Jada J. Jefferson. All right. So let's take a look inside at Jada Jefferson, who is a Newark, New Jersey native and attended Malcolm X Shabazz High School with super coach Vanessa Watson. Now I want
Right.
you to listen to yourself. I want you to listen to yourself. You come from a school that produced standouts such as WNBA Mati Ajavon, Rutgers University,
Yeah.
Shahida Williams, aka Greedy, Old
Greetings,
Dominion University, and my bestie, God bless her soul, point guard Shani Barak.
Coach Shiny.
In high school, yes, let's toast it up to that right there
For
for
real,
Shani
Coach.
forever.
For real,
Okay,
for real, Coach Shiny. For
yes.
real.
In high school, you were a Street and Smith honorable mention alongside Adidas Top 10 while earning Newark Player of the Year. At Fordham University, where you decided to stay in Brooklyn, you
Ah,
averaged 12 and 8 rebounds, accumulating 105 blocks. That's beastly, sis. Okay, you played professionally in Ireland, Spain, and Germany in 2006 and 2007. You were an assistant coach at Rutgers University, Newark, and you now travel the country. And we're going to let you talk about that. Jada, welcome to the show, where we mainly discuss basketball but love other sports. Today we have an all-star cast of basketball ballers, which makes for a great show as usual. Welcome to the show, sis. Welcome to
mhm.
the show.
Thank you, thank you. Thank you for running me back too and reminding me all those many years ago what I have done. And thank you for allowing me on your platform and making this Jersey connection, sis. You've been in my life and been an idol to me since I was a baby. Like for me to be able to call you sis, for your name to flash across my cell phone, I am honored. So thank you. I appreciate you, Goody. Like Cause you man, let me stop because I'm about to fan out on you, sis. I was going to fan out on you, sis. But thank you for allowing me on your platform. Thank you, sis. I appreciate you both.
I know. And we go way back, for since you were a youngin', you little girl over there aspiring to be somebody, looking at us through the eyes of a child and wanting to be everything that we were. So that's why I say to people who are athletes, I say to people who are mentors, you have to watch what you do because children are watching and you retain everything. And I watched a lot of you guys, you and including Cheryl Ford, who ended up just doing it big in the WNBA and was always out there in Utah with her father, Carl Malone, and watched us practice every single day in the summertime. And then one minute she's 14 years old, 15 years old, and then the next minute she's going to La Tech, and then the next minute I see her.
Yeah.
So it was, to watch you guys, and the thing that she said to me was, she was like, Auntie, let me tell you something. I watched you guys. You guys showed me what it took to get in the league. I got the opportunity to sit and watch y'all practice. I wanted to be you. So you got to watch the things that you do. Right now, you're in a mentoring state, right? I'm gonna go into, like I said, I do a couple of things different now, and I added a share screen. So what I want to do is I want to test this out. I'm going to test drive this on the people today because I want them to see you and what you're doing right now, and then we can go back. So just give me a second. Let me see if I can make this happen.
Rock and roll.
Let me see. All right. Can you see my screen?
Not yet.
Okay. So can you see it now?
Nah, not yet.
Hang on one second.
I did not have food to give them, and that was a very hard situation. I felt like a bum. And then knowing that somebody don't want me in their home wasn't the most comfortable situation at all. Like family treating me like crap, like part of the situation, like how I became homeless because I didn't have the money to help at that point. Like I said earlier, I had room. My grandmother passed away. I was grieving. My money was short from work because I literally needed to take time. Like I needed to take time. You take time, you don't get that money. You don't get paid. I didn't have any more sick days. I didn't have vacation. I moved back to our home to stay with my two brothers, and my money was messed up from the job. And they wasn't feeling it. They weren't feeling that I could. My older brother got into it.
Just listening to that. Okay. Give us a glimpse into where you are now.
So, Jada J, North, New Jersey. After I retired from playing basketball, I broke my finger, came home. As you said, I've coached at Rutgers Newark. I've coached high school in Newark. I've coached at Bloomfield College with Vanessa Watson. Shout out to Coach Waddy. And in the midst of all of that, I've also worked for Essex County for the past 10 years. In my transition of leaving the county and the world stopping because of COVID, I literally had nothing. I became homeless. I had no money. I could not get food stamps, could not get assistance, could not, mind you, I worked for this county for the last 10 years, but because COVID and so many other things shut down the world, it really affected how I could transition into my now, where I am, my media journalistic company, Don't Judge My Life Media, where I'm transitioning into now living a dream again. As I said earlier, I watched you guys live your dreams. I shot for my WNBA dreams. I went overseas and still got to play. However, now I'm in a transition of retirement. You know this. You know this as an athlete trying to retire and rebrand yourself. Now come to still stay relevant in a world where, for me, I felt like although I was home in North New Jersey, because everything that was going on, I could not go to the Baracas. I could not go to them. They had bigger things to handle. Raz is now the mayor of North New Jersey. Like, they have bigger things to worry about during a pandemic than me being homeless. Although I would go to the Shawnee Baraka Center and they fed me and they kept me. Shout out to Coach Kettles at the Shawnee Baraka Center, who's a grief counselor. That I went to her, talking to her after my grandmother passed. Just different resources that I had. But now where I am now, transitioning, and where I'm trying to go, I had to cut the middleman because I could not run back to my resources. I had to figure it out and get on board and get my life together, sis. And therein lies my van life adventure. I was homeless. I was walking to the library trying to figure out where I could be in life, like what's next, what's going on. Something called van life started popping up on my YouTube channel. I had never seen anything like this before. I'm not into HGTV or anything like that. So it became very intriguing. But what I know is if I buy this van, I convert it to a home/office, throw a bathroom in it, I can travel the world and go to all my media companies, go to all of these different events and different things that I would usually, once outside opens back up, I'll be able to now go to. And I'll no longer be homeless. So cut the middleman, get on my grind, get on this hustle, reinvent it, start the YouTube channel, and push the movement. Push the movement. Get on the wave. Find a wave. Don't stay stuck down. Don't stay locked down. Sis, because I was talking to you following your story and everything that you've been through when you came back to Jersey with your with COVID and everything that you've been like your story is real life, but you keep pushing. You keep moving. You keep making it work, sis. And I see your movement and you inspired me to keep it moving. So I again appreciate you. But that's pretty much where I've been right now. I'm staying with a friend from college, my sis from Fordham University. She's been allowing me to live in her brand new home for the last 6 months. Like, I am blessed. Because when I tell you I could have been in these streets, like literally homeless with no place to go, I am blessed to have people that let me come into their homes during a pandemic, during COVID, who were terrified. So, I'm blessed, sis.
Thank God. I did not know a lot of things. And that's why it's very important that you're respectful of people because you don't know what they're going through.
Yeah.
You don't know what you're doing to inspire other people. And I had a very, very intriguing conversation with someone who's in a very high place in the WNBA. And I was like, I can't stop. And I won't stop. I got people looking at me. I got people who need to see me be successful. They need to see me. Because then that motivates them and that liberates them to do the same. Don't give up. Don't ever give up. Okay? The greatest line that ever came out of NC State. So, bottom line is this, kudos to you. I'm glad. And sometimes we wonder why we're born in the cities that we're born in. Had you not been from New Jersey, baby, you might not have had that grind in you. You might not have had that hunger in you to continue to push through the situation. Because your situation, I can tell you, a lot of people would have took themselves out or they would have fell off, and you see them walking around town talking to themselves.
Out of their minds. Out of their minds.
Praise God for a sound mind.
Thank you.
Which leads me into, as a native, how important is it for you to volunteer and give back to the city of Newark, especially with these kids out here nowadays? Talk about that.
Because I came up from Shabazz, and we came up where we had Shawnee picking us up to drop us off to take us to basketball camps. We had Coach Kettles. We had Waddy dropping us off, making us volunteer. That's all I know, sis. I'm not going to lie to you. So when I'm walking in the aisle, I was driving on Springfield Avenue. OG has the Zoo Crew Basketball League out there, and I saw there was a girls' basketball game out there. And of course, I just stopped just to see what was going on. I noticed that the team, one of the teams, didn't have a coach. So I just stepped over there, and I don't even know these girls. I don't know their names or anything. I just stepped in and started coaching. Like, come on, ladies, let's do this, that, and the third. Thank God OG and Zoo Crew knew who I was, so they kicked me off the court. But it's in my heart. It's in my blood. Like, I give back. I love my city. I love North New Jersey. I love and to give back to my city and to step in to volunteer with the Urban League, to volunteer the Shani Baraka Center, to volunteer at Malcolm X Shabazz High School before I started coaching, to volunteer, to go back and give my time. I'm supposed to do that, sis, because people did it for me. And people made sure I was okay. That even though I am now in a situation where I didn't have anything, they still made sure I was okay growing up, and I was sheltered, and I was blessed. So yes, ma'am, that is extremely important. It's in our blood. I look at Matt T still giving back. Matt T being in Atlanta, Matt T all over the place, still giving back. Greedy still giving back. Like that's the bulldog. Wadi, I don't know. Wadi made us. We've been doing this for forever. So yes, ma'am, it's extremely important.
Yeah,
Yes.
absolutely. Absolutely. Shout out to the Vanessa Waddy Watsons. Shout out to the Deb Wilkersons. Shout out to, shout out to the OGs of the world, not just here in the United States, but of the world, because we all have our twins someplace else and probably doing the same thing. So I can tell you, just the inspiration that comes from people out of the city of Newark. Newark embraced me, and I'm from Bayonne. I understand the struggle when you come back to your own hometown. You know, you're not as loved and accepted. I've dealt with that on so many levels that, I pretty much stay to myself. I've done the coaching up at the high school. I've done all of those different things. It wasn't Bayonne who accepted me. It was Newark who accepted me when I came home. I was always over at Shabazz doing stuff more so that I was doing in Bayonne when I should have been in Bayonne affecting my own people. But it wasn't like that. I wasn't, you're gonna be pushed away. You're gonna be pushed in the corner.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay? Where you're from. So once I figured that out, I talked to the Lord about it. I said, Lord, why would something like that even happen? And my name is etched on the wall. And the degree of disrespect and the level of disrespect that I had at Bayonne High School was incredible. I'm putting it out there today. They got a lot of stuff they got to clean up with me. Name etched in the wall. But I can tell you this right now. All right? God was like, because I need you more over there. I need you more over there. People here have a better financial situation. People over here are better off. I want you to be where those kids need you the most, and that's over in Newark, and that's why I'm over there. I'm over at Barringer High School.
Shout out to you for taking that job at Barringer too, sis. Shout out to you for that. That's dope as hell for taking that job at Barringer.
That's a tough school. It's a tough school, but God had me over there because he knew that I'd be able to navigate well through that and help some kids. And I'm definitely doing that. I love my boys. I love them. And I love Phil Taylor. Those are my guys. We can get after it. I just want to take this moment to say you're listening to a WNBA State of Mind Sunday brunch. We're here. I got my girl Jada J. Jefferson at a Shabazz High School. Standout. Fordham University. Sitting and kicking it with her, talking to her about her movement with the van. It's blowing my mind because you gave me the inspiration to do that. And we'll circle back to that. All right? We talked about the importance of you giving back. We talked about the importance of you volunteering. We talked about, where you've been, and what you've done. What I'd like you to do. You got the audience. You got the stage. Talk to the inner city kids in Newark for me right now. Tell them something that they need to hear right now. Motivate them. Inspire them.
Number one, it's the city kids from North. Understand this. Everything I do, watch the movement media was literally set up thinking of the inner city kid. Watch the movement. Every place y'all or somebody tells you you cannot be, every room somebody tell you just because you're a kid from North, or you got a chip on your shoulder, or you got a little attitude, or you a little too hood, or I went to a predominantly white university, like a PWI. Like they told me I got locks in my hair. Everything, every stereotypical, everything that they said and put on me because I was from North New Jersey, I still pushed through. Because what I believe is, yo, watch the movement, no matter who you are and where you come from. Whatever you do and put your mind to, I guarantee you'll be successful in it. And I'm only speaking that because, Goody, I'm sitting on your platform right now. I never thought I was good in basketball. It's people, my jersey hanging up in Malcolm X Shabazz High School. I'm asking Coach Vanessa Washington, Waddy, what you see in me? Why is my jersey up there? I'm still not understanding that because I'm sitting up there with Mattie Adjumon, a Greedy, Aaliyah Hanford that dropped 2,000 at, where did Aaliyah go? St. John's University. Like I'm sitting up there with Aisha Hemingway, Kalinger Zachary. Like I'm sitting up there. So what I know to be true is whatever you put your mind to, whatever work you get in and get it done, you will be successful in that. And I'm sitting here, watch the movement, kid from North, because I'm just a kid from North. And I stepped on the red carpets at BET. I stepped into parties down at the Hip Hop Awards. I'm stepping into traveling all over the world through a van, like seeing the world, trying to get companies to sponsor me. Back like we had, I saw how y'all moved to the WNBA. Y'all had sponsorships. I didn't know this was marketing back in the day. Now I'm a grown woman. Now let me teach my North kids how to market themselves. Let me teach my North kids how to get this money out here on social media. Like you out here, I see your Twitch. I see you out here moving, sis. I see you making moves, sis. But
People
watch
don't
the
even know about it.
They sleeping on
Yeah.
Twitch, but that's where the kids at. Get on that Twitch. That's where the kids. So kids from
Sleeping.
understand that you can. If you do the work, you'll get it. You'll get it. Keep working, like my big sis said. Keep working. And then when we get it, let's give back. Let's give back. Yeah, that's all
Yeah.
I got.
Yeah. Absolutely. And for several years, I've known that Sylvia Crawley has been one of your mentors. She big ups you. She will get on you when you're not doing what you're supposed to do. Um, I've known that about her for a long time. And talk about the importance, and I try to convey this to people all of the time, especially the WNBA and the NBA, anytime I'm around people and teams and coaches and team leaders and GMs. It's so important to have those players that came before you, in front of you, to talk to you, to mentor you, to help you get to the next level, because this world, we don't live in this world by ourselves. And we all need people. And the best thing that you could ever do for yourself is follow the breadcrumbs that's left for you. Talk about how important it's been to have former player in your life steering you in the right direction, picking you up when you're down, telling you the do's and the don'ts of this whole game. And I'm not just talking about the basketball game. I'm talking about the game of life.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Coach Sylvia Crawley. I'm gonna try to keep this as emotionalist as I can, sis, because Coach Crawley, I call her my mom to her. My mother passed away when I was 14, a freshman in high school. My father passed away when I was 4. My grandmother passed away a couple of years ago. Coach Crawley, when I tell you this woman is family and embraced me as such, I am grateful. For 4 years at Malcolm X Shabazz High School, there was a poster of a woman blindfold dunking in our locker room. I had no clue who that woman was on that poster, sis. I had no, for 4 years I walked in the locker room and saw that poster. Fast forward, my first 2 years at Fordham University, my rookie year at Fordham, I was supposed to be I was A10 rookie of the year, preseason A10 rookie of the year. I got no burn for 2 years at Fordham University. I'm coming from Malcolm X Shabazz High School, where I started for 4 years, and we only lost 7 games in 4 years. And I get to a Fordham University, and I'm not playing. I'm not seeing no playing time. Like, I'm not getting any burn. I didn't know, you said, the game of life, right? I didn't know how to politic. I didn't know how to convert myself, being a brick city girl, here from North, into a predominantly white institution. I did not know how to politic. I did not know how to transform myself. There were people that were letting me fall through the cracks because I'm just a kid from North, and I didn't have anything to offer them. They felt like my senior year, I almost got kicked off of my basketball team twice. Coach Crawley came in my senior year. 1 year I had to work with this woman. Because I got kicked off the team, I almost got kicked off the team, I had to work with her one-on-one. So we had mad time. She developed me. In 1 year, this woman developed my game to beyond what I then. So for her to mentor and take me in, and I'm looking at her because I'm remembering now this woman who was in my locker room in high school, staring on the wall, dunking, blindfold dunking. Like, SC had bunnies, bro. Like, SC could dunk, yo, like in real life, like SC was in the Nike commercial singing in the background with Kim Hampton for LeBron, like with Charlotte Smith and all of them. Like, they were in, like, this is blowing my mind. So the importance that this woman, I still often tell her, because she has been a spiritual leader. When I tell you, this woman has been trying to help me get my spiritual walk right with God since day one, where we used to have Bible studies at Fordham University, and getting in contact with God and getting in contact with our relationship and walk with God. To Coach Crawley trying to get me to play the game of life and play the politics and everything and trying to do it the right way. I am now no longer hard-headed and tired of bumping my head against the wall. So I sit and I eat and I take the nutrition that I get from Coach Sylvia Crawley. And I can only hope that I continue to make positive and right steps. Because she aligns me with amazing people just by the grace of God. She doesn't have to do this. She does not have to be in my life. So I appreciate that as Sylvia Crawley stepped in and cultivated me. I shout out to Mima. Shout out to her father, my papa, Aunt Helen. Her family embraced me. At her wedding in DR, we're there around family. My first family vacation. Like, that has been beyond the game of basketball. That has been, God knew exactly what I needed and sit in exactly who I needed. And I am aligned, and I thank God for Coach Sylvia Crawley. And I get to sit in the nuggets of WNBA greats. Coach Sylvia Crawley was the youngest and first Black head coach at Boston College University, bro. Like, Ohio University, like, first head coach. Like, I'm blessed. And I got to see all of that. Coaching Indiana Fever. I got to see all, and she always let me come. Always welcome me along the ride. That's big for a little girl from North. That's big, sis. When you get to sit in it, you played in the league, so you got it on a different. You were sitting in that. So that's a whole, like, Matisse sitting in that. Like, who else? Brittany Sykes. Brittany down L.A. Brittany they got a chip this year, didn't they? Little sis Brittany Sykes out in L.A. That's big. Like, So yes, being a WNBA, Coach Crawley being in my life, being a mentor, I appreciate her, and I'm loving seeing my little sisters from North that's been in the league doing their things. Like, that's it.
Yeah,
Thank you, Coach Crawley, for loving my life, Coach Crawley, because she didn't have to. I've been a knucklehead, Goody. I've been a knucklehead. I've been hard-headed. I've been not listening. So I thank Coach Crawley for not kicking me out her life. So I'm blessed, sis. Thank you, Coach Crawley.
Yeah, absolutely. It's just so important. It's so important that we string each other along. It's so important that we support each other. And the biggest thing that you could do for someone is to love them when they're unlovable. The hardest thing that you can do is love someone when they're unlovable, you know? And so, um, that's just God, because there's been a lot of times when I've wanted to just shut the door on some kids that are just unbearable, but God wouldn't let me. There's a reason why you're in that child's life, and although sometimes you can't save all of them, but he'll put on his heart the ones that he wants you to stay with. And I got plenty of those. And so to see all of the kids that I've mentored, that I've coached, that I've been around, a lot of them ended up being really successful. And it's not to say that it was because of me, but because of the things that I put inside of them and the things that I exposed them to, to make them think about the path and the road that they were on and show them something different, show them something other than 5, show them something other than 78, show them something other than 3 East and West, show them something other than 45, 495. You have to take them and expose them to things and be that person who's going to sit and look and listen to them when their dog gets hit by a car, your skateboard got ran over by a truck. It's the small little things that you have to be there for people for, because everybody's battle is different. Some of us are born into this world with 2 parents, some of us have none, but God will always put people around you and surround you with those people to help you get to the place that he ultimately wants you to go. But you have to follow the breadcrumbs. And you're listening to a WNBA State of Mind Sunday brunch. I got my girl Jada, Jeffrey here on here, Jefferson. And I'm going to tell you, boy, I'm happy that I got you on here. You're one of my young little sisters. I'm going to get my little Shabazz crew on here. A lot of y'all came through. I might have to get a little round table with you and Maxie.
Run them. We got them. Run them, sis.
I don't know if I'm going to be able to do y'all at the same time. That might be a little crazy. I might be biting off a little more than I. So, turning it around, okay? Let's talk about basketball a little bit. We had this COVID thing going on, and it redefined basketball. You see people running around with masks on, playing AAU, all kinds of stuff like that. And, what do you think about college? What do you think that people can expect from college? What can we expect from high school? I think right now it's just they're not even allowing a lot of people to participate. So, video and virtuality is going to be major.
And hop on it. So to transition into your question, basketball, right? I got accepted to go. I'm trying to figure everything out. COVID shut down the world. Everything is now technical. Let me go back to school. I need to get back on my digital game. So let me go back to grad school, touch out to some coaches I know, and try to get a grad assistantship at somebody's university. So now I've been accepted to St. Francis University. Shout out to Coach Dotson over there who recruited me back in high school. She's now the assistant athletic director. She said, if you get into school, you'll be able to come under me as a grad assistant. Thank God, back in the day, we know that NCAA grad assistant, you might be able to get a full scholarship out of that opportunity. Because COVID has now stopped the world, there's no money coming in. There's nobody on campus. There's nothing that can transpire. So how do we continue to, and we know the NCAA is a cash cow when it comes to money. So how do they now figure this basketball thing out? How do we now keep them? Now we figured it out for the NBA. The bubble was very successful. That worked very, very well. A lot of people try to hate on it like the players didn't have to travel. So like Shaq said, their LA championship didn't count. This is the asterisk. Yeah, it count. Them men work for that. Like, nah, don't sleep on that just because they didn't have to travel. This, that, and the third. They still put in the work. But now it now changes the game of basketball even more so. So how do we now regulate that for NCAA basketball, for high school basketball? Y'all, how do y'all have, like, how didn't y'all season get cut short, like extra short in high school basketball? I'm sure y'all not having the same amount of games, right?
No, well, I haven't actually seen the schedule. I know we start on December 3rd. I haven't seen the schedule yet, because things are up and down day and night. Anything could change at any moment. All it's going to take is for somebody to test positive, and then everything's got to stop for 2 weeks. So, with that being said, I think that the NBA and the WNBA had the greatest platform in the world, but not everybody has that platform money to be able to do those types of things. Now, what I've seen and the most successful things that I've seen it was with the AAU and the streaming. There's not a lot of people that are inclined. There's not a lot of people that have the capability to stream. So we're going to have to move into this virtual zone, and we're going to have to do that, to survive the rest of 2020 and probably halfway into 2021, which is where we're going to be. Because if you figure that they're going to come out with a vaccine, and I'm going to give everybody a little tip, Pfizer. So if they're coming out with a vaccine, and it's going to happen in December, all right. So the first responders are gonna get those vaccines first. So you got the healthcare, and then you have law enforcement. Let's just stop right there. Very small percentage of people in the United States, healthcare workers, law enforcement. Small percentage, 1% if that. Okay, take care of those people. Still got to get to us. So we got to figure out what we got to do. So the virtual platforms are the platforms that are going to be successful. So if you're willing to convert yourself from reality to a virtual platform and figure out how you can be successful in that, then that's the best thing that you can do. As far as high school's concerned, they can make money. They can stream. They can charge to stream. NCAA, I'm not worried about any university in America. You guys have made so much money off of the backs of people. Now, if you don't have a reserve, then you mismanaged your money.
Facts.
Bottom line is, there's a lot of people that are going to online school. Online costs just as much money as not going online. So people are still enrolling in colleges. So I'm not really listening to them when they say, "Oh, we're not making any money." Yeah, you are. Yeah, you are.
Because they made it easier for you to get into school now. Because we didn't have to take the GRE because of COVID. Didn't have to take the GREs. Like you didn't. So they're needing more people to flood now and be accepted to universities online, virtual. So they're figuring, like you just said, they're figuring out their way to get their money. They absolutely are. And being realistic, sis, these schools should have been on this virtual stuff years ago. Even my church, I had to think about this. My pastor, when I was playing out in Ireland, I would beg my pastor, that's like my uncle, Pastor David Jefferson Sr., Metropolitan Baptist Church, 149 Springfield Avenue, Newark, New Jersey. If you're in Newark, float by or go online
Tell
and
me.
see. Hey, goody, because you go to Metro. That's you, my sis. You my sis. I forget I saw you float in Metro a couple of times. Coach Carly came to my service like, yeah, you know Goody. I was like, yeah, that's big sis. Like, yeah. So I've been telling, that's my family. Last name Jefferson. That's my family. When I was playing in Ireland, I used to beg them to do a virtual service. Like that was neat. That was over 10, 15 years ago. And I would beg them, like, come on, y'all, we need to do virtual. My uncle's like, he wanted people in the seat, so he wasn't off that wave. Like he would prefer people to come in the seat. Now, fast forward 15 years, they had to figure out and put into that virtual wave. So quiet as it's kept. Like you just said earlier, the NCAA, if they weren't on it then, it's their fault. They need to come back around and figure that out. Because our student athletes still need a chance to live out their dreams, to play NCAA, to play college basketball. They still need that. We got to figure out how to let our kids still get the same experiences that we had. Let's figure that out, NCAA. Let's figure it out. Get on it. Get on it. Let's get it. Virtual is it. Virtual
It
is
is.
it.
It is what it is, sis. And I'm sure that they are. Another little tip for people: if you are not computer literate within the next two to 5 years, you will not have a job. And that's the way that it's going to go. So anybody who's saying, "Oh, I'm thinking about going to school," let's not have it be in this thought process anymore. You need to start doing it. People are going to have to get retrained. Even to the jobs that are out there in the workforce, the infrastructure, so much money that we're going to pay in new infrastructure for healthcare, for the educational system, so that we can prepare for something like this when it happens again. And it'll happen again. Something's going to happen. We went from the Spanish flu to Corona, and then within another 50 to 100 years, something else will happen. So, but at that time, they'll pay attention and take heed. I just wish that people would start doing what they need to do and wear these masks, because the numbers that are being reported, and I hope that they're not being fabricated, are
That's
are,
it, sis.
are
Can we
astronomical right now. So
fabrication? Because I've been noticing a lot in media, and I work in media. It's been very frustrating to me. I've been noticing how they've been pumping these numbers every time I turn on the news, and we're in the tri-state area. The first headline out is how the numbers are going up in North, and this is pissing me off because they're perpetuating this like, oh, Newark is so bad. When you hear the city of Newark, what's the first thing you know who live in Newark? Brown people, black and brown people. And you're going to keep trying to force this narrative that these numbers are skyrocketing so high just in the city of Newark. That bothers me. Tell the full story around New Jersey. Tell the full story of how, okay, because their president came to New Jersey positive with COVID and did a rally in New Jersey. Give us the full number across the board. Don't just keep perpetuating saying that it's just Newark, that it's just Newark, our numbers are going up. Stop doing that, media. Give us all the numbers. So now you have these outside neighborhoods looking, oh, don't go to Newark. It's terrible in Newark. It's terrible. Now you're doing that same narrative back in the day where people couldn't go to Newark because it was too dangerous, or the carjackings in Newark, or since you remember this thing, it wasn't cool to always grow up in Newark. It wasn't cool to be from the hood. It wasn't cool. It wasn't cool to be from Newark. So I'm just a little frustrated in the media narrative, and they're pushing these numbers, but I get it. I just need America to be woke when it comes to these COVID numbers. Be aware. Be safe. Wear your mask, but be aware and understand what the media perpetuates.
yeah, absolutely. If they want to talk about something, talk about the strides that Newark have made and how beautiful downtown is right now. So, I just, bottom line is this: I'm always over in Newark. Best house parties in the park in the summertime, best family atmosphere. Probably have the best police force that I've seen on the East Coast. I ain't saying nothing against the ATL because they got a bad police force, but I could tell you, Newark PD and SWAT, they bad. They bad.
Facts.
That's a whole nother level. We do something different over there, and I like it. Listening to a good of mine. Got my girl Jada, Jefferson here. High school standout, Shabazz High School, winning all of the state championships over there. I don't even know how many you won. Super coach over there, Vanessa Waddy Watson. Big up to you. I'm telling you, gotta keep those people on the map. Don't ever let the history of the Bulldogs and the Shabazz High School go anywhere other than up. Other than up. You guys have done so much for the state of New Jersey, and basketball is not even funny. How can people keep in touch with you? How can people keep up with you on social media? Any new things in the works you want to share?
Yes. So right now, I'm pushing my Zoom life adventure. So I would need everybody to go over to YouTube, follow Jada, JAE21. That's on YouTube, Instagram, Twitter, Snapchat, Facebook. Jada, JAE21. Subscribe, like, and share, and watch the movement of my van life adventure, guys. I don't know where God is taking me on this road. I am terrified, to be honest with you, sis. I don't know how to build a thing. I don't know how to use a drill. But I have to now figure this out because I don't have an extra $10,000 to hire a contractor to build this tiny home out. So if everybody goes over to YouTube, watch my movement, I drop a new episode every week of the story of myself and my van Tootie in our van life adventure. I'm trying to take this all around the world. I've been seeing these people for years. They literally ship their vans around the world and go on tour and report it, man. I've got sponsorship deals with Havelock Wool. I figured out sponsorship deals with Van Space 3D. I figured out sponsorship deals. I'm trying to make it work. So if you guys watch the movement, Jada J21 across all social media platforms, encourage, I'm scared, sis. I ain't gonna lie to you. In a world in where I've been so conditioned to be in a home, I'm scared. I'm legitimately scared to be out in this world completely free and alone and traveling all around the world. But I'm going to go. I'm going to go for it, sis. And we're going to see where God takes us on this ride. And I invite everybody to watch the movement. Don't judge my life, y'all, because I'm not a saint. I curse, I smoke, I do all that. I got a medical marijuana card in the state of New Jersey. Don't judge my life. Into my grandmother's house. Anxiety. PTSD, growing up in the hood, all that. I'm legitimate, so don't judge my life. I was a nerd, sis. I ain't gonna lie to you. I was so serious about my craft. I wanted to play in the WNBA. Coach Watson told me to stop drinking soda in high school. I stopped drinking soda. I didn't party. I went to school. I went to church. I did everything my coaches told me to do. Everything my grandmother told me to do. Don't smoke weed. Don't do any of that. I had a terrible back injury. Got into a car crash. Holistic doctor suggested that I try medical marijuana. I'm not doing that. That's weed. That's drugs. I'm not doing any of that. No, how dare I? Oh no, I tried it. It works. I'm for it. So I'm on the wave. Go ahead on. Thank y'all for voting #1 in New Jersey. Voting yes to #1 in New Jersey, legalizing this marijuana. That's my life.
Wow. I'm gonna tell you what, listen. Whatever people need to get themselves through, the anxiety and the depression rate has shot up through the roof now that we have this pandemic, not only because people are shut in, not only because people are social distancing, but because there's a delay in healthcare because people can't get the the way that they need to.
Yeah.
So whatever it is you need as an individual to survive, do what you have to do during these times. I need you to survive. Period. Okay? Need you to survive. Need you to carry this thing on. Because all of us have to leave at some point in time, and I want to make sure that I leave it in good hands. You're one of those candidates. So if you're listening to Sunday Brunch, a WNBA State of Mind, and you're digging it and you want to see it and you want to hear it some more, go to Google Podcasts. You got it? Download it. Radio Public, download it. Overcast, download it. Anchor, download it. NetWire News, download it. Apple Podcast, download it. Castbox, Himalaya, Castaway, Switcher, Audio Radio, Castro, Podcast, Listen, Podcast 9, Spotify, Listen App, RSS Radio, Radio.net, Pocket Cast, Pod Hero, Podorama, Primecast, Procast, Podle, Highcast, Podster, Owltail, Intel, PlayerPod, Get Podcast, Bullhorn, Podalong, Tapcast. You got that? Download it. WNBA State of Mind, Sunday Brunch, Sammy Sosa in the house. Love you, Jada Jefferson.
Love you, sis. Thank you, boo. Thank you
for coming on the show.
Have a great week, sis.
All right, you too.
Watch the movement. Peace.
Talk soon.